Back to another deck tech here at Snapkeep MTG for the Timeless format, the best 1v1 competitive format in Magic the Gathering, and definitely on MTG Arena. Don't come at me, it's just the truth. You may have noticed we have some improvements here. Acknowledge the microphone, a little bit better sound quality, I hope. Gonna be getting a better camera here soon, and that will be dope. But all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into a deck tech, guys. So, today we are talking about one of my favorite decks in Timeless. Coming into the format, when the format was spoiled, this is one of the first decks I put a list together for. It's turned out to maybe not be as good as we thought it was going to be. Or maybe the archetype just has not been explored as much as it has the possibility to be. That, of course, that I'm going to be talking about today is Dimir Pact of Negation combo. If you are not familiar with the combo, let's talk about it, let's get into it, let's see what we're doing here. We have Thassa's Oracle. If you do not know Thassa's Oracle, let me read you this absolutely busted card. 2 mana for a creature. When it enters the battlefield, look at top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Put up to one of them on top of your library and the rest on bottom of your library in a random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. So that's the name of the game. We want to have 0 cards in our library so that we can win the game upon casting Thassa's Oracle. How are we going to do that? Are we just going to draw our deck? No, we are not. We are going to cast the namesake card of our combo, Tainted Pact. Tainted Pact. A lot of text on it. Hold on with me here. Is 1 and a black for an instant. Exile top card of your library. You may put that card into your hand unless it has the same name as another card exiled this way. Repeat this process until you put the card into your hand or you exile 2 cards with the same name, whichever comes first. Tainted Pact. A lot of text on it, but basically, if we are playing a deck with no duplicates of any cards, when we cast it, we can choose to exile all the cards in our library, have 0 cards left, cast Thassa's Oracle, and win the game. So that's the name of the game. How are we going to get there? Well, we are playing a singleton deck because we have to be, and we're playing it in a blue-black control shell. So we get to play a lot of one-offs, the whole deck, so there's a bunch of variety here in our choices, and there is so much flexibility in this archetype because it has not been fleshed out yet, really. There are not too many people on this, so, and given that Timeless doesn't have tons of tournaments and things like that going on, we don't have the data to really have people hammering at this to try and knock it down. So I think this archetype has a lot of legs. I think it has the potential to be easily a tier 2, if not tier 2, tier 3 deck in the format. Just needs people to work on it. So let's see what we've got working with here. For the deck, got a bunch of card draw in the form of cantrips, got Opt, Sleight of Hand. Over into the 2s, we've got Impulse, and we have Sauron's Ransom. Sorry, I've read that book. We got Memory Deluge. We have Lorien Revealed. And then we got Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time topping us out. Single target removal. To answer our threats, we've got Blood Chief's Thirst, Cut Down, Fatal Push. Over in the 2s, we've got Orcish Bowmaster. We've got Shieldred's Edict. We've got Drown in the Lock, doubling as a counterspell there. Speaking of counterspells, there are a lot of them because we want to protect our combo, and it is a great way to answer our threats before they have a chance to hit the board. We've got Spell Pierce, super important versus matchups like Show and Tell. We need to have those answers early. Stern Scolding to answer all those pesky early game creatures. We've got the new one. We got Mana Drain, Counterspell, Negate, Memory Lapse, Change the Equation as an interesting one. Archmage's Charm. Moving on, we got Hand Hate for our Hand Hate suites. In the main deck, we have Duress, Inquisition of Kozilek, Mind Spike. Might take a second to read that one if you haven't. That one is a one you might not have seen before. And Thoughtseize. So that's the way that we're interacting with our opponent. Those are ways we're drawing cards. We also have a few ways to tutor. Not a ton, but we do have a few. Starting off, we got Wishclaw Talisman. Wishclaw Talisman, we can tap it for 1 mana, search our library for a card, then give that to our opponent. Ideally, we're probably only going to be activating this once, the turn that we are trying to win the game. You've also got the classic Demonic Tutor. And then we also have Mastermind's Acquisition, which lets us search our deck or search our sideboard, which in it we have hiding extra copies of Tainted Pact and Thassa's Oracle, so that if our opponents are able to somehow remove all the copies of our win conditions on our main deck, we can go grab it from our sideboard. And then just filling the deck out with a few random pieces here. We've got Deathrite Shaman as a way to deal with graveyards, and it also ramps us, gives us the capability of a turn 3 win. We also have Snapcaster Mage somewhere in here. Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster Mage is a way to buy back our Tainted Pact if we somehow get both of those out in graveyard, whether it be a mill matchup. There are plenty of reasons. It also can just buy back any of our spells, can buy back our removal, can buy back our counter spells, but it is most important for being able to buy back that combo if we need to do that. And yeah, honestly, that is the deck. That's what we're working with. Mana base is also singleton because even basic lands count against that Tainted Pact restriction. So we've got snow-covered basics in addition to our regular basics. Looking at our sideboard, it's a Lurrus deck, so everything is 2 CMC or less. We've got Surgical Extraction for the combo matchups. We've got Soul Guide Lantern to deal with graveyards. Stone of Eric for the Golgari Yawgmoth deck. Aether Gust, anything red or green. This is good against the Naya Zoo matchup. Good against going to be the Field of the Dead matchup, those sorts of things. Bear Triumph, just some more removal for games that we need it. Filigree, Silex, helps us blow up tokens, things of that like. Again, good against Field of the Dead deck. Stonebrain is good against other combo matchups. Here, I'll move myself out of the way. Move out of the way further. Go Blank is good against control decks, good against any graveyard strategies. Path of Peril, good against aggro. Destroy all creatures mana value 2 or less. We are playing a 1 of Rafine's Tower so that we can activate that white if we need to. Unmoored Ego, again for combo matchups. Search our opponent's deck, remove those cards straight from it. Mindbreak Trap, again, you hear me talking about combo matchups a lot, or the control matchups. If an opponent casts 3 or more spells this turn, you pay 0 rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Exile any number of target spells. And then last, we got Meat Hook Massacre as another board wipe for small aggressive creature matchups. So that is our deck. There are so many variations that you could play on this deck, and I think there's a lot of room to explore. If you want to go into Esper, you could get access to Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, those sorts of things. If you want to go into Grixis, you could get Expressive Iteration, Faithless Looting, Lightning Bolts. If you want to go into Sultai, you could get Assassin's Trophy, you could get the Assemble the Team as another tutor. So there are lots of directions and lots of routes that you can take this deck. This is just the route that I am working on right now, the most straightforward. But please leave down in the comments if you have a list for Tainted Pact Combo that has worked well for you. Let me know. I would love to all brainstorm together and maybe get this deck on the tier list next week when one comes out. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Check back in on Sunday where we are going to be running this through some gameplay on the ranked best of 3 ladder. Thank you guys, and I will see y'all soon.